gameplay, you are going to have 5 townsfolk, 2 outsiders, 1 minion, and 1 imp. The townsfolk and the outsiders are working together to try and kill the imp, to execute them. The imp is attempting to be one of the last 2 people remaining alive, at which point they automatically win. In terms of nominations, when it comes time to nominate, you'll have a load of time to chat amongst yourselves, and then I'll open the nominations up. When you nominate somebody, you will then have an uninterrupted period of time to say why you've nominated them. They will have an uninterrupted period of defense. Then everyone can chat. I will explain how the voting works when we come to it. We are going to start things up. We are going to go straight into the first night. I am going to ask you all to switch off your cams, mute your microphones. Those of you... wait a second. I should probably send you your roles first.
That would be Sanda Binosi?
Plot twist. Those should have all been sent to you. Please let me know if you have not seen your role appear in the circle. Again, if you don't understand what your role does, please do drop me a DM. That is absolutely fine. If you have random DMs, send me them during the day rather than night, because I make mistakes who I'm messaging in the night.
I think we should say the 2 roles that people keep getting messed up.
I have gone over the Undertaker and the Raven Keeper earlier on today. So just for quick clarity, as Sheep has asked, Raven Keeper, if they are killed in the night by the imp, they will get to choose one person to find out exactly what role they are. And the Undertaker, if someone is executed in the day, they will get to find out what role that person was.
Sure.
Doesn't work back to back. So for instance, Undertaker won't get anything if someone's killed by imp. Ravenkeeper won't get anything if executed by town. We head to the night. Cam's off, mic's muted. Best of luck to everybody, especially me, because I usually die on the first night. Make sure to mute mics, otherwise people might hear if you're typing to me.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, wait, that's not the full sheet. Somewhere on this server is... There we go. Okay, let me just bring this across to the main browser. And there we go. Lovely. So, if I die at night and welcome to choose a player, you learn their character. Okay. Oops, that's not the right one. Let's change this to Opera. Ooh, where are you? There we go. Lovely. Everything is working as it should be. Okay, so let's look at general strategy. Raven Keeper. So I'm going to try and pass myself off as a different character so that the evil team will kill me. Oh gosh, this is going to be quite hard. Because if I pass myself off as someone who already exists, then they'll think I'm a bad guy and execute me. And if I try and pass myself off as someone who... Let's see, so... Empath seems dangerous because I have to give out false information, which is very risky. Fortune teller? I again have to provide false information. Undertaker is more forgivable, but I then also still need to make stuff up, which will be false stuff, which isn't great. Mayor seems like the most straightforward one.
The town wakes up
Jesus.
after what felt like an eternity. Apologies for the delay.
Good after morning.
Just had to answer a couple of quick questions for people, which is absolutely fine. I did say that you are welcome to ask them at any time, and they came at some time. Also at some time, during the night, yet again, tragedy struck. Thor, Loki and Hope are once again left with but a spectre for an owner. As I have been brutally murdered, there is another imp in town. Some people would say I'm unlucky. Some people would say most people just don't like me. All I know is that I'm now here to tell the story of what happens in your fair town. Because of my death, the dead can now talk, and you can all chat and try and catch this imp before he kills you too.
So, here's the thing, guys. I think whoever is the imp is a nice guy. Because he keeps leaving some nice food for Greyheart's dogs.
Apple crumble, I heard.
Interesting, interesting.
So,
Who's
the
to
imp
say?
eats apples.
Are
Yeah.
it dogs or cats that eat their owners when they die, or both?
Right?
Well, both.
Yeah.
Both.
So, guys, we're looking for a dog or a cat.
Yeah.
This is what I'm getting
Alright,
here.
Angie. I want a 1v1 on the Avatar.
Me.
Yeah, you.
Okay, sure.
Oh gosh, well that was quick.
Oh, that was sweet.
I'm confused. What just happened?
So basically, he's basically said, look, I want to have a one-on-one chat with you. Let's go to a separate room, in this case the abattoir. So they're just going to have a little chat. You can invite people to an individual room or a 3-person or a 4-person room whenever you want to, but you can't join someone else's if you haven't been invited.
It is
So,
worth.
John,
It's worth
Giga
remembering.
suspect that they've just
Yeah.
gone and done that.
All I'm saying, sheep's ass.
It is somewhat necessary to do if you're a bad guy, so you can communicate information with each other. You can
Yeah.
do it as a bad guy to make someone else look suspicious, but it normally means at least one of the people involved is a bad guy at least.
I'm gonna do something equally suspicious. Rod a 1v1 me in the church.
John, future, meet you in the maze.
You go to the...
I mean, I don't know why everyone's going off into these little groups by themselves. We haven't got any information to work off at all.
Okay.
I guess we're in a room together now. So.
No, we're in a room.
Seems pretty sus.
Oh my god.
This is going to be an interesting game, because I this doesn't normally happen, and I think this is because no one knows how to play this game. So everyone's like, let's just do a thing. So now, which makes it very hard to read into anything, because he's like, oh, why did you do that? Like, because I'm new. Oh.
I don't know. I mean, I also don't really know at the moment what's going on. Ha ha ha.
All right. Well, I don't know. I suppose make use of the time. So, Lexi, why don't you tell me while we're alone? Do you have any information that might be relevant, which we can kind of cross-reference with each other later?
I might be aware on who might be or may not be the Undertaker. That's
Okay.
something I know.
Interesting.
Hello.
Interesting. Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Have you come back from being suspicious?
Yes, I would. It was a very
Suspicious thing going on, yeah.
Joking, we were simply buggering in the church.
You
Well,
just
that's what
1v1
it's
like
for.
Rust.
Exactly.
He got me very drunk.
Oh my, everyone's coming back.
We had a nice little chat.
Yeah.
I'm in danger.
I was trolling
So
around.
Counterfeit, you know what I said to you?
Hmm.
Someone here is
Could be
that.
evil. Yeah.
Indeed, that's worth knowing. And that,
Out of all these people that have returned, you know what I'm talking about. These other fucknuts have no idea.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know. Following. Yeah,
Someone is that.
I reckon it's that guy.
Well,
this guy.
I'm going to
This
split off.
guy
You guys
has
could
one.
have talked about this more. Rodder, do you want to talk to me in the abandoned warehouse?
What are you guys even talking about? We have no information.
Gaming.
Are you like, screw this game?
It is mere speculation, sir.
Interesting.
I love the way that Peter's turning into Charles from the last game from Engelman. That was
Me and Sheep
Very,
had the
very
funny.
interesting. As Counterfeit, we can now 50-50 this between the two that wandered off.
I just want to say, Sheep did a brilliant move, but his luck was like. It's super funny. If you
Wait,
you'll
what did
hear
Sheep do?
I'm taking all the notes.
We'll hear it at the end of this round, but it's very interesting as what he did.
All right, well, as long as both me and Counterfeit don't die, at least my information will live on. I don't know anything, though, that's going on in this game. I'm like, I think I've got an idea. I want to know what, like, people are... I'm so confused!
Look how beautiful this glass is, by the way.
That is a very pretty glass.
We need to figure out what people are doing. Because this is sketch as fuck.
This is one of the sketchiest starts to a game I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't know what people are doing in these rooms. They've got nothing to
I
talk
don't
about yet.
trust Sheep grabbing people and then running off.
I'm down 2 bottles of lube.
I'm
He's
going
been
to give
muggered twice.
to the imp.
Oh,
So the hedge maze is getting larger. There's 3 people now, and notably there are 3 bad guys. I'm not saying that that's conclusive.
Just as a heads up, there are 2 bad guys.
Are there? Well,
2 bad guys.
there you go.
That sounds like something like a bad guy would say to Forest of Descent.
That's true. Who's to say that he's really dead?
We require
Or-
an exorcist.
He might be a general idiot. It's one of the two.
But I find that is the greatest cover of all things. It's how I've made it. It's how I've made it this far. It's how I'm going to keep on
It's
going.
how I've lived my life. It's how it worked out. It's how Daddy did it. It's how Granddaddy did it.
I have you know I come from a long line of idiots, and we are very, very sufficient.
Sir Idiots, my forefather was called.
He was idiot
Survival
for
of the
birth.
stupid, I believe it is.
Sir
That's the one I don't want to tell you.
Hereford's fault.
Okay,
Stupid.
as fun as this conversation is,
Yes,
and
sir.
it is, I've generally, so from having played this a few times now, we do need at some point to start sharing information around it. Otherwise, we'll end up exactly the same place in round 2 that we were in round 1.
perfect, right?
Minus 1 person.
I feel like the Count is trying to take charge in Forest of Descent.
All right, the Count. Talk to me in the church cemetery.
Sorry? No, I'm not going to get the cemetery.
Sheep's amazing.
Can you refuse? Is that a thing you can do?
You can, absolutely, yeah, you don't have to go.
Alright.
I am sowing discontent.
I just feel like that was a catch me outside. How about that?
No, it's
right there.
It's anyone who's got, like, information that they can pass out now, which isn't going to
do.
screw the team.
I do, which is why I want to 1v1 you in the church cemetery.
Why does it need to be
Gonna have an
1v1?
exorcist off.
Why does it need to be 1v1? Why can't you just tell the group?
Because I don't want the imp to know what somebody's told me.
He's a coward.
Put a target on his back. Information can both be a boon and a curse.
Okay.
Listen to that
before,
baritone.
Rod up,
That's
Rod
amazing
up.
baritone.
before doing that,
1v1 me in the old mill.
okay, Sheep, let's hear what you got to say, Sheep. Alright. What new nonsense is this then?
Okay, so I've been talking to someone and they think me or someone else is the saint. So I talked to one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy who's claiming to be the saint knows there's an undertaker in this game. So, like, we want to kill people, but we don't want to execute the saint.
Okay. That's... Why is... So, if you're if basically Okay, so the
We
Undertaker
have a
part.
saint, we have an undertaker, so it's good to execute people, but we don't want to execute the saint.
I think so. Okay, so having the saint in the game seems like that's quite important for everyone else, because only one person's going to claim to be the saint. So if there is a saint, it'll be worth finding out that that's the case now, because
We only need to know that if we accuse him.
don't we?
Or her.
I don't think we have any else, do we?
No, we don't. I just thought I'd throw that out.
I'm trying to think of the logic there. As far as I can tell, I think it's better. Like the Undertaker stuff can definitely stay on the down low for sure, but the Saint part seems like it's important because otherwise we start going down the road, and then if the person gets accused, it's gonna come out anyway.
Yeah, but if the person gets accused, that's fine. We can then move on and accuse someone else.
Does the Gravekeeper? Does that work on?
Gravekeeper works with the what's it called? The Virgin.
So Gravekeeper will.
I don't know if we have a Virgin yet. I haven't talked to enough people.
I wish this was. Oh, Undertaker, not Gravekeeper. So it's a character needs. Yeah, so we need to be clear.
Just about a minute or so, and then pop back over to the town square for me, please.
Okay, so sure.
Minute.
So yeah, for the Undertaker, yeah, you're right. You need to be executing people, but I think it needs to be. I think it needs to be clear who the actual saint is sooner rather than later if execution is going to be happening. But I don't know. Let's go back.
So that's something we discussed last time. I think Sheep was there then as well. So if anyone is the recluse, it's better to just say it now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we will execute you. That's the thing we discussed last game once again. So
Would
Sheep,
the recluse
back me up on this.
like to
Back
come
me up on
forward?
this.
God damn you. Yeah, I am the recluse. But I don't want to be executed.
Gute Nacht.
Oh no!
But it's good to know, or we can just
Oh yeah,
not
yeah. We
check you.
kind of need to know
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I definitely am.
Sorry,
Is everybody back? I believe everybody's back. Nominations are now open, but you can also continue to discuss. No private rooms, though.
How do we nominate?
You say, I nominate so-and-so.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna nominate the professor then. Sorry, nothing
God damn
personal.
you, Dom.
I know that we were meant to be friends, and that you were very honest with us. But they do raise a good point.
What was the point?
People's other abilities, and that it can basically just fuck everything up for anyone that has a like each night ability to like check things, which seem important. This
Just so you
does
know,
definitely give an advantage.
I
to
could
him.
still show as being evil, even if I'm dead.
Is that
Yeah.
true?
Yeah.
I could still show
Yeah.
as being a minion or a demon, even if dead.
Nominations come
But
through if you sorry, I'll just let you know, guys. If you look at Clocktower online, you should see that clock hands have now gone up. This is the voting period, which will come in a moment when the countdown starts. Basically, you click on your circle, and that will change a blue X to a red hand up. If a red hand is up, then that means you're voting guilty. A blue cross is innocent. Basically, it might not show the blue cross until it goes past you. Basically, if you see the majority in the middle, you need a majority of 5 for an execute to go through. Even if you get 5, it's not guaranteed that the professor would be executed. Nominations would still be open, and if someone got more votes than him, they would be executed instead. If there was a tie for most number of votes, no one would be executed. There's something else to say. Future, were you done with your accusation period?
No.
Go for it.
I wanted to make it like clear, like yes, obviously this is something that affects people that have like card flipping abilities. Effectively, is what they are. But this does help the imp, so we don't want to do this kind of shit again. As long as it only happens once, I think it's fine.
It's
okay.
it's
I'll go
not-
before we have anything
Sorry.
else over to Professor for a defense if they wish to have one.
Sorry.
I mean, like, I was a virgin last week. I want to live. Give me time in this world to enjoy things.
An enthralling defense, if ever I heard one. You may discuss for a little while.
To be fair, if you're a virgin, you are about to get
Stuff.
fucked.
We'll start shortly. Basically, you're keeping your eyes on, I believe it is the minute hand of the clock. When that goes past your name, whatever it is up at that point, that will be your vote. So do factor in lag. I will not take any takesy backsies or trying to put them back up afterwards. If you miss your chance to vote, you miss your chance to vote.
Do we get to
if you wish.
discuss? Oh, okay.
Yep.
So, if this helps, sorry, what's the name? Is it the Outsiders? No. Who are the bad guys? The minions and the demons.
Yeah, evil basically.
So if killing off someone that we think is the recluse is gonna put them 1 point closer to winning. I know it's not much at this stage, but I had a really good point and I've completely forgotten what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, no. So it still works when he's dead. So it's still going to be pinging off, right? Like people do have the nightly abilities to like detect good and bad.
Unless we have an Undertaker in play. Then we can check what he was.
Does anybody want to own up to being the Undertaker?
I don't know if people would want to say that the Undertaker, because it's a very powerful. No, if there is an Undertaker, we don't probably want to know it like at this point.
But to be fair, the Undertaker will get killed off.
If we kill the recluse though, like most of the on-use abilities, like most of the like each night abilities, we can just completely factor out the recluse if they're dead. That is kind of the thing. Like you just remove them at
Fortune Taver and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you just kind of remove them as a factor from the game.
You keep tempting that the countdown is beginning.
I mean, a thing that I don't really understand is it says it's only a might as well. So I don't know, dude.
Yeah, it's up to Stan how much he wants to mess with people.
It's uncertainty at this point, and if we have a drunk, we kind of need it out.
Yeah, true. Because then we have a way to. I forgot to vote, but then we have a way to know that if there's not a drunk in play, which is very important.
Sorry, Martin.
God damn it.
I thought his defense was solid, like best defense I ever heard. At least.
I want to live.
I genuinely hope it helps you. I really do.
Well,
F my snooze.
He says taking a big swig of drink.
It doesn't prevent you from playing, Professor. You just have to try and work out who the bad guy is without being killed again.
Yeah, no, it's good. You still have to play.
I've got a hunch. It's sheep.
Just as a heads up, with 6 votes, that is enough for an execution, but nominations are still open. It could still be someone else.
Wait, it hasn't gone round for me.
I mean, it has for everybody else.
Are we allowed to do accusations?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep. So
I'm reloading the page.
we're all quite new players here, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of Xavier, Counterfeit, and Sheep.
Okay, so we're all new players, so we don't really know what we're doing too much. But there's been one person who's been very much taking control of how the game's been running from the get-go, and that's Sheep.
You're damn straight.
So he might be he could be trying to play hard to win, or he's trying to take advantage of our newness.
Or he has the mindset of a sheep and thinks we are all sheep and we are just falling for it.
He might be a wolf among sheep.
Sheep,
Exactly what it's like last time.
your facial expression while that was all going on was quite interesting, Sheep. Like you were just kind of like it was just kind of like a sort of a wry smile, which is an interesting expression to have when someone's accusing you.
Did the vote for Professor go through?
There were 6 votes, so it isn't enough for an execution, but there could still be more nominations.
But the thing is, like, I think Sheep would have been a bit more open. It would be a lot less secretive if he wasn't, if he wasn't something sus.
We don't have enough information.
It's just very suspect. But all we really have on information on Professor is a throwaway. Yeah.
I am going to bring nominations to a close, as it doesn't seem like any others are coming in 5, 4.
I'll nominate Sheep just because I want to have more discussion.
Okay. Could you please let us know why?
I don't really have a particularly good reason. I just wanted I didn't feel like it was the right time for the discussion to close there. I do agree that if Sheep is a bad guy and if he's directing traffic in the game, that's extremely bad news. I
would.
Just a second, uninterrupted accusation, please.
Sorry.
He did when he was in the other room with me, he did seem like he was trying to get work done as opposed to just trying to sow this dissension and confusion. So I don't have a strong feeling that he is. So I don't know. I don't know if anyone else has got anything more to say on that, but that can come through in the actual voting part.
Sheepy gets an uninterrupted rebuttal.
My defense is I'm 60% sure in this game I'm drunk. Like I'm actually I think I'm drunk. Not sure yet, but I think I am.
Also, Counterfeit, have you got rap battle gloves on?
I have got little bear gloves on.
Oh, he's ready to he's ready to game, guys.
That's right.
You have time to discuss this one. The countdown will begin shortly on whether or not you wish to put.
Cheapy, do you want to elaborate on what you were saying, because that's quite specific what you're getting into there.
Very random.
I'll tell you after tonight.
Sheep. Remember our discussion. Remember our discussion. How are you? I mean, 60% is not sure at all.
I know, right?
I was gonna ask, how sure are you that you're drunk? That's not sure at all.
I don't know. Like, honestly, this seems like a really good way to deflect as well. To be like, nah, you're clearly trying to control the flow of the game. There's just like.
Really?
We just don't have enough information, and people are like just slamming out baseless accusations. Just makes you more suspicious than the people you're accusing.
But the thing is, that wasn't baseless.
It's kind of baseless.
It's quite early. I mean, like last time, Sheep was very aloof throughout the whole thing. It's just the way he plays, I guess.
You've got to be consistent if you're going to be a bad guy as well.
With only 2 votes, that is not enough to execute Sheep. As things stand, Professor is still getting executed. There are mere seconds left for any further nominations.
My thing that doesn't do the clocky thing.
Are you sat down at your sheet at your thing? Because it doesn't look like you're sat down.
It says swap seats.
No, you need to click on your name and take seat.
I'm already in the seat. I'll
well, you're not on ours, so you probably need to refresh.
What happened?
What happened?
What's going on, Sheeps?
I don't know. Click the refresh button. I'm no longer there.
Then just join the thing again.
Just go back to Clocktower.online and rejoin the lobby.
Oh, what was it? It was
L0K1.
Alright, yeah, we're back. Claim the seat.
Alright.
There we go.
Last second or 2 for nominations. Nominations are closed. The town brings out its resident gorilla. It throws a barrel down from on top of some scaffolding. It lands on the head of the professor, and he is no more. The town goes to sleep.
I mean, that was... I don't know. I think we're going to run into the same problem which we had before, which is people are a little too unwilling to share their information, or know when to share their information. So we're going to end up losing because no one will ever say anything, and then they'll die with loads of relevant information still live. So that's a thing. I think I'm just going to start pushing people to start revealing their roles somewhat soon. I think if we've got a Gravekeeper, which it sounded like we probably do, I don't feel like Sheep has shown any signs as of yet of being evil. But him saying that he's a drunk is interesting. That suggests that whatever information he was getting initially is not being consistent. And depending on how Stan's set up the game, it can be either possible to tell that you're drunk, because, like in this case, there's nothing changing, but your information is changing. Or you can end up in the situation I was before, where you literally could not tell, because the situation made it impossible to do so. Which is some of the stuff where I'm not super keen on the way Blood on the Clocktower works, is because of some of the leeway makes the game very unclear as to just mechanically how it's supposed to be working, and that you just can't know certain things at all. Which is... I mean, I know it's by design, but it's still a little weird. I kind of wish that there was more clarity. Hey, Apollo Music! This is Blood on the Clocktower, as you can tell at the top of the screen. It's basically Mafia, but more complicated. So, I'll just show the roles. So we're all a town, and we're trying to figure out who the baddies are. And we all got different roles, though some of the people will say they are one thing, but actually be another. Because there are two people who are bad guys, and if the lead bad guy survives, then we lose. These are all of the roles. I am the Raven Keeper, so I'm trying to bait the bad guys into killing me. And then I will get to learn a character. Which is very useful information for the good guys side, because there's only a few of us. It's really fun. I definitely recommend Apollo. If you... I'm going to move this to the side of the screen. Hopefully this will make it a little bit easier to follow what's going on. Hey, Peter Wolf. So if you guys weigh in as to who you think is suspicious, that will help me a lot. Because there's going to be a lot of that kind of stuff going on. Does this work okay? Yeah.
The town awakens.
Alright, let's get back.
Wait, did we just one-tap him?
Good morning, everyone. Town gathers to look on the crushed, decimated, squashed, eyeballs eaten by ravens body of the professor, because no one cleared up his body after yesterday. No one else died.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Alright, Vanji, I need a word.
Okay, yeah.
In the church cemetery, we're gonna drag Professor's body, dead corpse in, but not...
Future, can I talk to you, Neil Bill?
Sure.
So how are you guys doing?
Yeah, not doing too bad, not doing bad.
I'm good.
Had
How are
a
you?
good sleep. Very good.
Didn't hear anyone get savagely murdered by crows,
Yeah,
demons,
that's a
anything
bit
else.
weird, isn't it? Because if it was the imp that got killed, then we would have won, and if it wasn't the imp that got killed, then presumably the person who was targeted got protected? Or I don't know why they would choose not to kill anyone.
Well, protection may be a factor. I may know something.
Okay. I'm thinking that this is probably the round where we need to start getting some kind of extra information out of that, because right now it seems like the information is very scattered across different places.
Yeah, we haven't really made a guess at anyone. We know who Professor is.
We just got Lexi shifty eyes.
I'm starting to metagame now, and I'm like,
Well, so...
I am aware that there is someone who can protect others during the
Okay.
night from a evil
And
persuasion.
someone cannot be killed by the demon.
And someone cannot, yes.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense. That's the only reason why there wouldn't be a death now. Though that's
So each night, potentially, there's two people that will survive the demon.
Two people? Oh, so you're saying there's a... Okay, so there's a soldier and
There's a soldier and a monk.
Okay, interesting. Alright, well that's... Okay, so it could have... So there's two potential targets that could have been chosen who would
Video,
have been
please,
killed.
Martin. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
Bloody Discord.
I know, it's great.
so we don't want to ever really sort of clarify who that soldier is, because then the...
Others.
Yeah, then they will never get targeted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But there are two of protections, shall we say.
okay, that looks...
two?
Yeah, well, that's a very good setup for us
There's
then.
two ways to be protected. One
Double
is
protection.
natural, one is given.
And the monk gives it to somebody else.
Okay,
So you're saying the monk could have protected the person who was murdered last night?
There might be.
or the soldier could have been targeted. One of the two.
Because does the imp have to choose someone every round?
I don't...
They do, but they can also choose themselves or a dead body.
Yes,
Noted.
so it says that each night choose a player, they die. If you kill yourself this way, minion becomes the imp.
So if the dead body is targeted, will that like disappear? Will that something happen to that body?
Nope.
Okay.
Just won't be a death.
Yes.
Extra death.
So we've cleaned that up now, right?
So
No,
if,
Professor's still out there.
if the imp gets under enough suspicion, they can kill themselves so that their other evil player becomes the imp.
Zane,
Can I
snap,
get
please.
the count in the old mill for a quick little talk?
Okay.
Account.
Okay.
What up?
So, I have a problem.
Okay.
Are you good or you're bad? Got me. You're gonna tell me you're good either way. So the problem is,
Okay.
I have two people claiming the same role. Now, one of those might be a drunk, so you already know who it is. Are you? You need to tell me your role, and I'll tell you mine, because my role is quite important. As in, it doesn't do anything, but it's quite important.
I don't. Well, Okay, I'm not. Like, it's not something which I'm gonna just kind of give out.
Okay. I think you're the Undertaker. You don't have to answer that, but I think you're the Undertaker. I am
Okay.
the Saint, which is a problem, because Sheep, I'll tell you how it is, and I'm taking a huge gamble by trusting you, but I really think you're the Undertaker. Sheep dragged me apart the first night, and he said, I'm rolling the odds. It's a 1 in 9 chance. No, it's like a 2 in 2 in 9 chance. It's pretty good odds. I am the Undertaker, Sheep told me, and I want to pretend to swap roles with you. And I said, Sheep, well, that's good, because you landed on someone who is good, but you also landed on the Saint, which is literally the worst role to swap with.
Okay.
Because I cannot, like, if I am executed, the game ends. So that's the problem we have right now. The Sheep claimed to be the Undertaker, but he's fairly sure he's a drunk.
Okay, I know Stan would probably do that because the drunk stuff is his like big chance to mess with the players.
Yeah, that's typical Stan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I can believe that that's the case. But wait, so how would you differentiate between both of you potentially being drunks?
Well, I might be the drunk. True, but Sheep said that when he checked Professor, it came up as spy. Now,
So how did you
think
check
that-
Professor?
he's the Undertaker.
Oh, I see. So when Professor died, he got back.
Yeah. Okay, now it makes you think you're not the Undertaker. Because, okay, you're probably not the Undertaker then. Well, tough luck anyway.
So yeah, I did hear from Sheep before that there was an Undertaker in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, I mean, given the amount of detail that you're going into here, I think it's fairly safe that you wouldn't be making this much effort if you're on the bad guy team.
Yeah.
Over multiple rounds. So, okay, so sorry, Saint saw Professor as what?
No. So Sheep saw Professor as the spy,
Oh, okay.
which is baffling to me because if you're the recluse after the speech I did, you would not. If you're a minion, you would not come out as saying I'm the recluse. I think that's the dumbest mistake to make. So I'm fairly sure that Sheep is drunk.
Okay.
And we had, I think that because otherwise the spy can't use what is his ability again? Hold on, oh, you might register as good as evil even if dead. But that's such a Stan move to make, right? If you check the recluse and it shows up a spy.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of gets so confusing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hey guys, just about a minute or so, just so you know.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't think we're going to get anything further from this conversation. Let's just go back to the town.
Yep.
Very much need to know.
All right. Where were we with everything?
And we're not getting shared this information out.
That roll, you don't want the imp to know.
No.
Can I just grab the count
Well,
at the old mill,
I
please?
don't know if you,
You can
really would.
just 10 seconds
Alright.
or so there.
All right. Better be quick.
Very quick. Are you the Undertaker? Yes, no.
What do you want to know?
Because I want to know how I pinged.
All right. I am not.
You are not. Ah, that's very interesting. Of course, that means that Mr. Sheep has lied.
Alright, let's go back.
Yellow sus.
Yellow sus.
I don't get it. Yeah, like
Does.
we're trying. We need to keep some information. Like I mean, I get it. Like it's a real easy cop out to be like, might be the drunk. Who knows? Like that's like the easy. That's the go-to. Just hit the button
Do we
of like,
still have
don't
enough
catch
time
me. But...
quickly, Grey Hut, for a 5-second.
You can have literally 10 seconds, and then I will.
All right, Lexi, into the movie.
Also, hey guys, on the stream of Detective Wolf Apollo. So this is a hidden identity game where we're trying to figure out who the murderers are. I'll talk during the break a lot more.
You're muted in case you didn't know. There you go.
Yeah, that's alright, I was talking to my stream.
All good.
You ran off too quick. I needed to tell you something, but okay.
Is everyone back? I think they are. Yes. Nominations are open, and no more side rooms.
And that, Lexi, is why I think I'm drunk.
It's not the fact that you absolutely reek of it, no.
Nah.
He just goes into the other chat, screams at me he's the drunk, and then runs off again. I'm so confused. He doubled down. Do that. It's KFC, and I love the double down burger.
Imagine you're walking around the village square, and suddenly you want to visit the old mill.
Is anyone else not hearing Xavier?
I'm hearing static and.
Oh, hello?
There he is.
There we go.
Someone's rubbing the microphone on something.
Oh, and it's gone.
You're good.
No, it's
Oh,
good.
no, now
no.
it's completely gone.
No, it's dead.
It's dead to Dodo.
The old headset has finally sung
hello.
its last.
Hello? Hello?
He's back. He's back.
Hello.
You're
Okay,
very quiet.
so imagine you're running around the town square, and suddenly you try and visit the old mill, and then Sheep is there just shouting, I'm drunk, yeah, I'm drunk, I'm drunk.
Pretty much.
I tend to believe that.
Yeah, I think I would now. Now I'm
Lexi,
It's that or psychotic.
who's the other one? Because I want to accuse that person.
Really?
Yeah,
The other
Wow.
one?
We're
just
just
in case they're the virgin.
well.
Oh, you got to
Sucks
think
to be
about
you.
virgins.
Right, you are getting thrown under the bus. There we go.
What did I do? I simply slept each night and had no quarrels.
I'm going to accuse, I don't know, Hereford.
What?
Why?
Okay.
Alright.
Sheep has accused Hereford. God
Oh.
knows why, but he's about to tell us.
Okay. So I'm taking a shot in the dark, right? And I'm hoping that you're the virgin.
I mean,
Well,
my friends have been telling me.
I say.
People on the internet have been telling me that for years. It happened once. It was great.
Wait, so if they were the virgin...
Was that your accusation in your defence?
Sorry, you called me. Yes, that was my defense. You called me you called me a virgin. I've happened at least once.
So wait, so if Sheep has accused Hereford and Hereford is a virgin, Sheep would now be executed.
If he was townsfolk and Hereford was the virgin and wasn't poisoned, yes.
Can I give my actual defense, or is that count?
Yes, please do.
Totally baseless. Like,
I preferred the first defence.
Okay, yes, definitely at least once. Yeah, but no, it's totally baseless, and I don't feel like I've given any reason for those kind of accusations, especially when you can't actually provide any kind of evidence to support said.
Okay, there is discussion time. Countdown will start in a moment.
I'm more suspicious
Or
of...
is the number
This is
still
fucking silly. This is just fucking silly. What are we doing?
I'm trying to get information rolling.
I'm more
I'm not
suspicious.
giving you any.
I'm more suspicious of Hereford now because he spent the entire time
Yeah!
tracking information rather than actually.
Like, oh yeah, I'm getting
Get him
accused.
out of here, boys.
I'm getting accused of being the virgin. That's not an accusation. That's like trying to get some info.
Maybe it would be a time to actually maybe give some sort of hints towards what kind of character you are
Countdown
saying you
again.
are.
Hereford?
me or him?
I cannot comment on what I am, but you really don't want to get rid of me.
I
a
would
lie.
second
That's
that
a
if he was
lie.
telling the truth to me.
I'd second.
No, that's
like,
a lie.
I don't think we shouldn't. We really should not get rid of Hereford. Like,
I'm down for blood. We're gonna
if we-
take it.
if we kill him, like, it's just making it easier for the imp. That's for sure.
Agreed.
Okay.
Well,
Undertaker.
You guys seem to have...
50-50 on you.
It does
Come
seem
on.
it doesn't prove
Come on.
anything. Like it just gets someone killed, and we don't really learn
It
anything.
doesn't give us anything.
Three votes is not enough. Accusations and sorry, nominations are still open.
I'm a little bit kind of concerned with Sheep just kind of, like, feeling like...
Throwing shit out there.
Yeah, it feels like you're adding more confusion than anything else at this point.
No. There is a very legit tactic to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's the tactic that you're
Personally, if judging from you accusing me on that, and you now claiming there's a tactic, me knowing what I am, I'm calling BS.
The tactic is for me to stay alive, aka look sus, or to die to the what's it called, the legend.
Yep, I would agree with I would agree with that tactic, Sheep. I don't know if it's smart, but it is a tactic.
Not long left on nominations.
I haven't got much else to work from because I legit think I'm drunk.
5 seconds on nominations.
Like
The town
last
goes
round was 40%. This round is about 80%.
sleep. The town is asleep. Video
isn't good
and
news.
sound is off.
Okay, so, yes, this is a very complicated social deduction game. Let's go back and look at the roles again. There's a lot going on here. It's when you first start playing this game, it's very, very complicated. I think as I played more games... Oh, wait, have I... Oh no, I am muted. Okay. Phew. It's very easy to mess this game up for the entire lobby if you don't mute. This is, I think, going to be a bit of a farce because I don't think anyone really knows what they're doing. And it doesn't feel like we're getting any closer to figure out who the demon is. But I think I need to start putting myself further forward to try and get killed. So the role I am is Raven Keeper. So if I die at night, I get to learn a character. So I need to persuade the bad guys to kill me, but I need to avoid getting executed. But no one knows what they're doing at the moment, so it's... Oh, okay, well, let's find out.
To discover, the future went out for a midnight walk, and while they were kneeling down, the imp descended with a giant sword and impaled them.
I see what
Killed
you
them,
did there.
shockingly.
I see what you did there.
What can I say? I'm good at coming up with original deaths.
Oh no, I meant the pun.
Oh, there we go.
Impaled.
Yeah.
Rip.
Interesting.
We'll pretend that was intentional.
Okay.
It was totally.
I didn't know anything about future. I knew nothing about future at all, so it doesn't really add a lot.
I did.
He's rage quit.
Can Future, the Count, and Vanjie join me in the maze? We have a puzzle.
Yeah, good luck with getting future.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, as in, like, is he joining?
Doesn't like it.
Okay, the reason why I thought I was the drunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is because me and Vanjie had a discussion at the beginning that I am the Undertaker, right? And if Professor is claiming that he's a recluse, there's more than one. There's more than one outsider. From talks with other people. Lexi thinks me and somebody else is the Undertaker. I think I'm the Undertaker. When I checked Professor, it said he was the spy, which is why I think I was drunk. Does this make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense. Because I told the Count as well, I told Pete as well, it would be stupid to come out as when you're a minion, it would be stupid to call yourself the Recluse. Because, especially when we said before, we will execute the Recluse.
Yeah, that seems really weird. I don't even...
Welcome, Future.
Oh, hello. So what, like, it doesn't... What have we got to work with now, which doesn't seem like very much?
Like, I legit think Lexi might be lying because I think I'm the drunk, and I don't think it would show me coming up as being an Undertaker if I'm the drunk, right? Well, I'm not sure on that rule. I probably should ask Greyheart.
Your
It just shows
townsfolk,
you a rando one, right?
a
You
random
think
one.
you're a townsfolk, but your ability malfunctions. Yeah, so it
Okay.
show you a different townsfolk.
Okay,
But
future. So you're dead, right? Okay, so
Mhm.
I'll fill you in on the. I'll spill the tea. So I am the saint. Meaning that if
Okay.
I get executed, we lose the game.
Mhm.
So what happened was, I'm fairly sure. I'm pretty sure Sheep is the drunk, and Sheep pulled me apart the first round. Wanted to swap roles, and then I said, "Yeah, well, we'll pretend to swap roles." Sheep said, "We'll pretend to swap roles." Yes, that's very unfortunate because I am literally the Saints. I'm the one role you cannot swap with because if I die, we lose the game instantly. If
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Clarified
executed.
with Greyheart that the washerwoman doesn't get shown the drunk.
What does the washerwoman do?
Wait, it changes.
Ah, okay.
So one of two players is a particular
So you might-
townsfolk.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it can't. The washerwoman can't see a drunk as a townsfolk, but the washerwoman could be drunk.
But if there is a
Oh,
washerwoman, can she come? If the washerwoman only sees one. Oh
One
no,
role,
fuck that.
and it could be one of two
Lexi's
people.
saying that one or two people is the Undertaker from her washerwoman. If I was
Yeah.
reading what was said earlier correct, which means I can't be drunk, right?
Sorry, who was the other Undertaker supposed to be then?
I never found out.
We don't have that info.
Never found out.
Ah, okay.
What do
right.
you count?
I don't think I can say quite
You
yet.
shouldn't tell me. I look sus as hell.
You do look. I think it's like.
That's like the point, right? If
It's,
you're the Undertaker, you don't want to die.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind dying later on, because later on we can't execute people, right?
No.
I don't know, it's weird. I don't have any information about Rodder, John, or Hereford, really, and that's quite bad for this
Yeah,
point.
Hereford's okay. Hereford saved me the other night.
I think you gave a little bit too much information away there.
Yeah, a little bit.
We already had the conversation, basically.
Okay. See, I was
But,
thinking John was the monk.
I'm not sure, like, if it's a thing, but yeah, like, I think it's worth noting. Like, Hereford's
Okay.
probably fine.
Okay. Hereford is.
That was a huge save, by the way. Huge.
I mean, didn't get me the night after, but that's what it is. Okay,
Looked around.
true. I mean, I
Probably go
didn't.
back in and talk.
I didn't get
Yeah.
to do anything in the night though because I died. So, okay,
So,
yeah.
Future,
yeah.
what role were you playing?
I mean, I'm not gonna, because I don't want to like screw anyone else over by giving away too much. I've already given away one role.
Okay.
No, I understand that.
Because like at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm not the drunk, or else Lexi would have, unless Lexi's the imp. Because Lexi
I-
can't be drunk.
Well, we could
I don't
always,
see that.
like, at this point, we could always execute Lexi because he's already given his information out.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
just so you know, about a minute. Thank you.
Yeah,
And then if you
Well,
find out that he is the washerwoman,
But
then
do we have enough? Do we have enough time for that?
So Lexi claims to be the washerwoman, then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why he doesn't like me, because he knows I'm one of the two people that's Undertaker. Until the end of last round, I never told him. But then again, he never hopped in a room with us and the two people to find out.
Do you want me to talk to Lexi, and should I actually revealing that I'm the saint is a bit. Actually, if I die the round after,
it's like revealing you're a saint. I don't think is that bad because all it means
no.
it doesn't really affect the bad guy team at all. Like they wouldn't kill you.
Should I claim something? Should I make like a wild accusation or wild claim to Lexi then, and see if he trips over himself?
Like what kind of claim?
I don't know. Like I did this previous game where I told one of the players, I 100% know you're bad. Just know you're bad. Like nothing to add. And then eventually they tripped up. Eventually they fucked up.
We don't have very much information to work with, so sure.
No. Yeah.
I don't know. Sheep, actually, can I grab you as well, just on your own, real quick?
Yeah,
Go
which
to the
room?
church cemetery.
I'll go. We'll go back.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh no.
Right. Let's get the cameras back up again.
Guys, I've lost my vape pen. I'm distraught.
Don't worry.
All right. There we go.
Wait, why is a ghost talking to a murderer?
Play on, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's right,
Alright,
that's right.
Apart from joining the cast of East,
Good information right there, boys.
Oh yeah.
apart from joining the cast of EastEnders, has any useful information come out during this round?
No,
Yeah.
no.
We
We
might
just
go
be
we
going
can
on
crump
east.
We can
all
crump
going down
some
the pub,
geeks.
we're gonna get hammered.
We crump some geeks.
So that you know, nominations are open, side rooms are closed.
I assume if you're dead, you
And
can't nominate
videos on,
anyone.
please. Counterfeit and future.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, my neck.
There we go.
You can't nominate if you're dead, right?
Correct.
No.
I would like to raise a nomination.
Okay.
I am accusing Sheep. My basis on this is so far everything he has said hasn't added up with different.
Just so you know, Garish, Professor is currently getting a drink. Would you like to wait until he's back to give your reasoning?
Yes.
Can we just extend the regular? Oh, no, mind.
There we go. Accusation, please. Just so you know, there has been accusation Hereford to Sheep, and the accusation is here.
So we have discussed, and through multiple different conversations with many different people, your information hasn't quite added up. You have also been claiming to be the drunk, where unless there is a poisoner among us, that information is inaccurate. Someone has used one of their abilities and it has not come off, which implies that either they are drunk or there is a poisoner among us. So on that basis, I accuse Sheep.
Thank you. Sheep, defense, if you wish. Sheep?
I'm gonna come out and say, okay, the reason why I thought I was drunk is because I'm the Undertaker, right? And the Professor came up as the spy.
So, on that logic, just very quickly, if I came up as a spy, knowing very well that I said I'm recluse, I could come up as basically anything evil, then that could have been the case.
You were playing
Garish?
3D chess. That was 3D chess.
I am taking. I've spoken to Future when he was alive, and I am taking on good word and trust. So if it's not, I'm heartbroken. You've ruined my day. That Future was not a spy.
Future? Professor, my dude.
Professor. I thought Professor said it was recluse.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
recluse.
That's kind
Do I
of what
get
this
to-
discussion's
wait,
about. Basically,
Do I
Sheep
get to
said that
talk
he...
here?
I'll just say quickly, just for clarification for people like Garish, basically, Sheep has said that he thought he was drunk because it came up the Professor was spy, and this made Sheep think he was drunk. Yes, you can absolutely talk if you want to.
Right,
Future asked
okay.
first.
Yeah, so, Professor tried to play 3D chess, and it kind of backfired when we just killed him. I'm pretty sure, right, okay, I'm going to map it all out. Professor grabs me and John and does a whole heartfelt, like, I'm the recluse, guys, I'm all good, it's all okay. Like, comes straight out and says it. Kind of weird. It perks me a little bit. I was like, that's not how these games work.
Oh my god, you're
And then- so I-
overthinking it.
And then, so I went through the list of abilities. I was like, well, why would he do that? Oh, I know. It's because he's the spy. Because the spy might register as good, might register as bad, which is the exact same thing that the recluse does. So it just completely negates both of them if you say you're the recluse if you're the spy, because you just have this, oh, well, I'm the recluse. I just showed up as a whoopsie me. Like,
Dom,
really,
pause
really
on
easy
that.
to get away with it.
I think-
Pause there for a second. Sheep said he was potentially drunk even before I was executed.
Can I say
Okay.
something? I think there's a Baron in play because I think I am an outsider, and
Lads,
think-
can we get back onto the topic here? Because we're accusing Sheep, right?
Yeah,
So,
no, I
like,
know,
let's-
but
Yeah, I'm getting to
yeah.
that. I'm
Sorry.
getting to the accusation.
Sorry, I don't mean to take us off. It's
No,
just
no, 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 no.
There are layers. There are
discussion.
There
Okay.
are layers. There are layers to this.
Sorry.
There are layers to this. So,
Sorry, Vanji.
okay,
No problem, no
Professor.
problem.
The Professor lied to Hereford, bold-faced. Just straight out
Nope.
lied to him. James is wait, not Sheep. Sheep is lying. Is not lying. Sorry. Yeah, Sheep's not lying about. So there's so many layers to this. Professor lied. Professor lied to Hereford. Hereford was trying to accuse Sheep because Sheep was just trying to. He originally lied about being the drunk to deflect some unwanted attention to the fact that he might be the Undertaker, which I'm pretty sure he definitely is and isn't drunk. I think it's actually Lexi who's drunk.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Lexi's drunk and is fucked up and doesn't realize that your ability is broken. I'm pretty sure John might be the Baron or just completely innocent. I'm unsure. And there are then I think at this point, Rod is a complete unknown, but Sheep shouldn't accusing Sheep is bad right now.
Okay, Dom,
can I ask one question?
Right now.
Guys, just so you know, just quickly, I will let Martin speak in just a moment because he's just had some stuff thrown at him. Then Vanji got cut off a moment ago, so I'll let them speak, and then I will start the countdown. But you can still discuss at that point. First of all, Professor.
So, Dom, I'm using my one and only vote for the rest of the entire game to say Sheep guilty. I definitely wasn't Recluse. You were off by my.
Mate, I think you're getting gaslit.
Lexi, you're drunk, mate.
Vanji, you were trying to speak.
I'm an outsider, and so there must be, or chances of there being a Baron in play is very high if you already have a Recluse, or somebody claiming to be the Recluse, and somebody who's probably drunk. So.
And Lexi's the drunk one.
The countdown
is
beginning, but you
neither of the
may
two people you think is drunk has come out as said they're the drunk, right? No, I mean the beginning.
Sorry, can I just ask one question? Sheep, if you're the Undertaker, what was feature?
It's execution only.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought it was just death.
Very quickly, so if you're the Undertaker, why did you tell me the Count was the Undertaker?
See if you trip up.
You what?
You will.
Well, when it comes out as use the spy, I'm seeing if you're going to trip up.
With 4 votes, that is enough for an execution on Sheep. Nominations are still open.
I'm going to nominate Lexi.
On what grounds?
Why are you nominating Lexi?
Okay, it's like this, right? Either he's evil or he's drunk. Because I'm guessing that neither of the two people that he's even attempted to talk to find out who the Undertaker is, because that's what you came out and said. You know, one of 2 people is the Undertaker. I'm guessing neither of those 2 people is me, which means you're either drunk or evil.
I mean, I know the 4 people that just voted to kick you out know exactly my information already, and I'm willing to be rather chill as one of the people that you did take across to the other room, the Count himself, I've already given information to as well. So it's only yourself, Sheep, who's a bit in the dark at the moment, as they would say. So I'm willing to use that.
He looks like he's in the freaking sun.
Hey, it's an analogy. All right, let me use my words here.
All right, I'm gonna play that.
Apologies, I interrupted an uninterrupted. Sorry, Lexi.
I would like to hear from the Professor. Not the Professor, for Count.
Just so you know, the countdown will be starting soon, but you may discuss.
Wait, who are we voting for? I got really confused.
It's on Lexi.
Lexi, currently.
It's a simple execution. I think he's either drunk or evil.
Count,
He hasn't come up as me being
Sorry,
one
what
of the
was
Undertakers.
what was the question?
Apparently, with the information that you've shared and Lexi has shared with you, paints Sheep in a bad picture. And you look very confused when he was saying that.
Well, accusation down is.
I don't know, like, I just got a really bad vibe from Lexi then where he was, like, doing out, because it had a real, like, villain cast to the whole thing and be like, you're really dumb, and I know this thing, and I've got you exactly in my trap.
Mate, because I think you've all been gaslit, like, legit. I think the whole gaslit thing where Sheeps keeps pulling people into another room and does it, like, feel free to do it, but, like, I mean, I've been very open with my role.
If Sheep's trying to play a plan here, it's so weird that I kind of feel like he deserves to win with it if it turns out to be the case. So I think Sheep might actually be the. I know this isn't going to go through anyway, but I think Sheep actually might be the Gravedigger. And if at this point the Washwoman, if you are the Washwoman, you've already used up your information, so you being executed isn't as bad as someone else being executed.
True.
2 votes, not enough for an execution. As things stand, Sheep will be executed by old game video death in a video game death in a moment. However, nominations are still open.
I'd like to nominate John just because I haven't talked to John all game, and that makes you suspicious.
Hello.
Yes, kill
Kill the quiet man in the corner.
Kill the introvert.
There's always the quiet
Was that Count who nominated John?
Yeah. I don't really have any evidence for this whatsoever. I just haven't heard anything from John. I have literally no idea who he's playing or anything about him at all, which is sometimes makes someone look a little bit like they're a bad guy, because the easiest way to be a bad guy is just not to say anything, because then you can't get caught out in a lie. I mean, we don't have a huge amount of information about who the bad guy even potentially could be, because I don't think that's our townsfolk lineup. So I'd mainly like to have John use his defense to give some idea of who he is. Otherwise, by process of elimination, presumably he's fairly close to being a bad guy.
Alright, John, your defense if you wish.
I can say that I am townsfolk. I don't want to say explicitly who I am, because who I am will influence how the imp plays and what choices they make. Which could, if they don't know who I am, then that's an advantage to the townsfolk. It gives us an extra turn, basically.
Okay, you may discuss. Nomination countdown will start shortly.
I'm not into that, because that's kind of close to what is true for me, and it seems a little unlikely it's true for him as well.
Can you give information on what you can do?
No.
Or is that will you do
No.
it later? Okay.
Like the it seems extreme. It seems like on balance of probability that just seems very unlikely.
Next round, I'm gonna pull apart John in a room and I wanna have a talk with him.
And I'd like to do the same for
Countdown
We're gonna-
begins.
We've got 2 dead bodies. We're about to have a 3rd one, and we're all still keeping our abilities to ourselves. This is going to be a wild ride, lads.
I don't know.
Especially if we've got the wrong people.
I don't know if it is actually John, but like that defense, it could be true. It's pretty unlikely to be true.
We can't say for sure until one of you says what your ability is. Like, so it's just completely hot air to be like, oh, well, that's pretty suspicious. Like, I don't know. You saying that's suspicious makes that suspicious.
3 votes, not enough for an execution. Nominations open for a few more seconds.
Does anybody want
that's-
to come out as being an outsider other than Vanji?
Well, I mean, Professor tried to, but I still think it's Cap. Like, I'm pretty sure.
The reason I tried
Because
to divert.
Lexi can't be drunk.
Why not?
If nobody else is an outsider, Lexi can't be drunk. Because I can't be drunk, and for Lexi to see 2 people as the Undertaker.
Then there's a poisoner among us.
No, because
All right, the
Or a
nomination-
Baron.
I mean,
Poisoner couldn't
The
take it.
nominations have
Doesn't affect what you want.
closed. The day is drawing to an end, but before it ends, the spectre of myself comes around with a golf club, having been possessed, and that golf club is used to beat in the head of Sheep, who has been executed by the most bizarre of ways by the town. And the town goes to sleep.
Oh.
Cams and mics off, please.
So, I don't know what's going on anymore. Like, I think he actually probably was the Gravekeeper, which is why I was trying to divert attention around. I think I'm kind of suspicious of John. Like, he's sitting really far back. And even if, like, in my case, like, as a townsfolk where I can't say what my identity is, otherwise it becomes useless. I feel like John should be trying to take more of an active role in trying to figure things out, whereas, as far as I can tell, he's not doing anything, which is a very, very common thing for new players to do who are evil. But I don't know what you guys think. I don't know what this is like as a viewing game, if any of you guys are still around, but if you are, do let me know if you think I'm on the right track there.
The town awakes.
Here comes the sun.
They awake to discover that in the night, an army general who you thought was your friend came and shot you in the head because they were controlled by the imp. I'm struggling here, not gonna lie to you, but either way, Lexi's dead.
Oh, well, that's a fairly good indication that he was telling the truth. Well, no, but at least he wasn't imp. You don't have to roleplay being dead for the rest of the game.
Fuck you, Wendy! Fuck you!
Sir, this is an Arby's.
so I don't know why we killed Lexi.
No, I
How
got
would you kill
murdered.
Lexi?
No, I got
Alright.
murdered. I got murdered by the imp.
Yeah, I don't know why we killed Lexi.
He's drunk.
We-
He's drunk.
Nah, Lexi's obviously drunk. Which means the professor was the spy, which means we don't have
Yep.
a Baron, right?
I'm telling you, I really wasn't.
Especially as nobody else is claiming to be an outsider, which means we don't have a Baron. And so, legit, from this point, can Hereford and Future join me in the hedge maze league?
So what does that leave for
Driving me nuts,
Poisoner and
I
the Scarlet
genuinely
Woman?
wasn't the spy. I genuinely had.
Doesn't
Okay,
that-
I'm
Wait, doesn't
gonna
that have
do
to be an imp at this point? Or sorry, does the Baron replace the imp?
No. The Baron makes sure that there are 2 extra outsiders in play.
But there's
so
only
you
2
always
bad guys total, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of them has to be. If there is a spy, then it would have to be spy and imp, right?
Mhm.
So, but we don't have any reason to think that there is an extra outsider.
Just a question, Stan. If we do kill a bad guy, will we know? Or not to the end of the game?
If you kill the imp and they have no way of passing on their ability, the game will end.
Right. Okay.
This actually, yeah. So this doesn't actually rule Lexi out from actually just being the imp and having killed themselves. Though I don't feel like they were under enough suspicion to really make that a sensible
Guys,
thing to do.
I told you, I'm the wash woman. I clean stuff, and I have been very clear and transparent with that.
clean.
Now, to be fair, like if you were the imp, claiming to be a washwoman is bad because people can execute you with more or less impunity because you've already used up your information. So it's not a great defense to use.
Yeah, true.
So I don't think it was actually.
I think I know who the imp is,
Okay.
or at least who a bad guy is. But I want everybody in the room because it's kind of important that everybody's in the room.
Wait, why don't you just?
Yeah, because if he wants to make an accusation, he wants everyone here, right?
Yes.
Oh, you want to see what
Safety.
you want to see what the reaction to it is, I presume.
Guys, I can still hear you. I'm just quickly grabbing myself a drink.
Quick, let's
How
all
dare.
accuse Stan
It was.
It was.
and his little dog
I can
too.
still hear you.
All along, it was him. The
It
long
explains
con.
why he dies every single time at the start.
Yeah.
So, hang on, who have we got that wasn't here last time? We got Vandy here and Rhoda. Or was Rhoda, were you in this room yesterday?
He was
Yes,
here.
I was in this room.
He was with us. He was one of the.
Day and night
Yeah,
mean
well,
nothing to
we-
me. My job's fucking that over.
He was one of the 5 that was with us
Sorry, John.
originally.
Yeah, it's Hereford that we're missing.
Yeah, it's Hereford. We didn't have the Count or Vanji in here last time.
Has anyone actually come up? Sorry, Rodder. What kind of role are you suggesting that you've been? Because I haven't got anything down for you at all.
Oh, for me, I'll just outright and say I'm a soldier.
Okay.
Okay, I'm definitely know now. who the imp is.
Really, sir?
Mhm.
That's telling you that you're a soldier is negating your own ability.
I know.
I definitely. Yeah. Okay, I'm hoping the other guys join ASAP then.
It's a whoopee dog.
Mhm.
Yeah, in the store too.
Okay.
Cute doggy.
So still don't know who Future was even claiming to be.
No.
I've got investigator down in my notes. I'm not sure why, but that's what I've got.
I did
Okay,
say there
so-
were 2 people who were safe from the demon.
Yeah. No, I mean that's fair. That seems to be being consistent because we had the one round where nobody died. So we're getting pretty close. What? So we've got 5 people total left alive, which means that if we vote someone out and the imp kills someone, we'll then have one more round.
Mhm.
Count, who are you in saying you are, at least? You're just saying you have special abilities that's important that you don't die. Oh,
Yes.
now you're confused. Yes, now? Huh. That's interesting, sir. Why did you
Come on,
pause?
guys, join.
Because I need to very carefully consider what my answer is going to be.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I know you're trying to draw out of me more information, and I don't want to give any more information that I absolutely have to.
Yeah. Wasn't someone going to pull John aside into a separate room and interrogate him? And
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
was-
wasn't that you, Vanji.
Yeah, I was gonna do that, but
Being
I
lazy.
mean, we still
Do it
can.
now.
but
You still got time. Come on, give him
Okay,
the old
sure,
1-2.
Yeah, okay. John, let's go to the abattoir.
To the abattoir.
How appropriate.
Oh, Hereford's back.
In the hedge mage, please.
Who?
Lexi.
Oh,
Yeah, Alexis doesn't know
kicks
that
off.
one.
wait, where am I going?
Okay. I can't help but thinking that Exodus Banshee is has kind of like not been sussed at all so far this game, with no real information that would be anything but potentially a bad guy. And so I'm trying to think of these scenarios at the end where we're like, oh, we never like really looked at this person at all, and then it turned out that they were them the whole time. What do you guys think?
I have absolutely no Scooby. I still think Sheep was somebody evil. I think we have killed genuinely somebody evil there.
I think so too, but I'm not 100% on anyone else.
Why did you think Sheep was evil? Like, his stuff was so confusing that I couldn't quite credit how he was expected to make him...
Well, I think he just cocked up on the alibi. That's the word. Because I swear he told me he was the washerwoman, and yet then he was saying...
And the thing, like he was saying in his defense, that something about the drunk whatever, like blah 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 blah. But he announced that on day one, and he was like saying, he announced it on day 2, and it's just like, no, that was his announcement on day 1.
I think there are easier ways of trying. I mean, if he's just trying to be completely confusing, then sure. But like, I feel like there are easier ways if you're trying to make up something to throw people off the scent than it is come up with something that bizarre.
So guys, I'm going to give him about a minute.
I don't know.
It is left to centre, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, Future's deduction was all over the place.
Oh yeah, I still
quite
don't have a clue what Future's deal was. Like, I don't feel like we're actually very close to anything apart from just randomly executing someone now and hoping for the best.
I'm interested to see what Fanji says, but even then I'm still sus of Fanji, because Fanji and Sheep were quite close from the get-go. So
that's true. That is true.
So yeah, I'd be interested to see what Fanji says to the group, but I'm going to take it with a little pinch of salt. I have used my one and only vote, by the way, so I can't vote again.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I still think, John, you've kind of flown under the radar pretty heavily so far. Like, maybe I've just not been in the same rooms that you've been in, but like, I'm generally of the opinion that if someone doesn't say a huge amount, that's normally at least some amount of suspicion is warranted from that, because it's just so much easier to avoid suspicion if you're not saying very much. Whereas if you're on the good guy team, you're generally pretty incentivized to actively take a role in trying to figure things out. Am I wrong? Have I just missed you doing that?
Peter, just so you know, John wasn't in the room when you actually started that sentence.
Oh.
Wow. Oh, was that me? Yeah, no, that's why I'm just sitting here like, yes, I agree.
Oh yeah, okay, so John, I was kind of like passively accusing you of saying like, I may have not been in the room with you very often, but I haven't been hearing you say a lot or kind of like do a lot so far when I've been there.
It's because there's a lot of people talking. It's mostly Sheep talking about being drunk, and then Lexi being drunk, and there's a lot of people talking about that, and I don't know what's going on with that. I'm just trying to listen and try and keep up with what the hell is going on. Okay. Also, just generally not wanting to be questioned as to who I am, because I don't really want people knowing.
Well, it's just like, all of those things together make me think, if you were a bad guy, this would be a pretty solid first-timer strategy to avoid kind of getting caught in a lie. Because you don't have to justify any information. You don't have to, like, get caught trying to tell someone something.
I can also say the same about you.
Sure, yeah, you can.
We are both sitting on the same sides of the same coin. In terms of, like, neither of us really want to give away, like, what position we're playing. And we're trying to find out who the imp is.
So nominations are open.
John, can I talk to you?
Yeah, go for it.
In the
if we can.
Do we have time?
No, there are no side rooms. Nominations are now open.
Okay. In that case, I would like to accuse the Count.
Okay, that is Hereford nominating
I wish I screenshotted your reaction there, Counter.
Okay.
Uninterrupted accusation.
So, I have it that the fortune teller knew that it was either yourself or somebody else. You have deflected a lot throughout the whole game, and you have accused others. And the main screaming one is that you wanted Lexi to die, and then the vote didn't go through, so we assume that you killed him anyway. And yeah, that is my accusations.
Uninterrupted response.
Okay. I wasn't expecting to get accused, so that's why I was very surprised. Okay. I try to remember all the things that were in there because there's a couple of different stuff. Okay. I've been very cagey about what I've been playing as for a very good reason. I know that John's gonna have been kind of provided by that same defense as me. I'm very confused about Sheep. Honestly, sorry. To address the last parts of yours, what you were telling me which I was doing, which was that if Alexei was assumed to have been the washerwoman, there would be no reason for the imp to go and kill him. I have no idea why the imp killed the washerwoman at that point, because washerwoman, again, has already given their information out, so killing literally anyone else is more constructive. Which also makes me think that the imp is a new player, for the reason they did that. I don't know, I can't give you any... If I say what my role is, I negate the point of having my role in the first place. So...
Yep.
So
just so no, discussion is now open.
Okay.
Can I say?
Sorry,
Can I
just
say
really
something real quick? Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I think it's the count, and for one simple reason. Once again, I was super confused why Lexi was killed by the imp. That makes zero sense. But I told I think I told 3 dead people that I am the saint. By the way, I told 3 dead people I am the saint, and the count. I also told I'm the saint. Now, if you factor that information in, then it suddenly becomes very logical why he would kill off Lexi, especially since Rada just confirmed that he claims to be the soldier. So if he claims to be the soldier, the imp, because I thought I was going to die last round. Okay, I haven't set my role. They'll probably just shoot me off and put suspicion on Lexi. But the imp wants to keep me alive for some reason to create this kind of chaos. So that's why I also think it's the count, and that was what I was about to say. I was actually gonna accuse the count before Hereford came in.
There is a grand plan at stage. You have kind of gone off my word, and I haven't been too wrong. I think now is a perfect time for the Count and John to reveal their roles.
Okay.
And it is safe to do that. And whoever, if you do that and one of you dies, we know exactly who it is.
Okay. I don't think it's likely it's going to get to use my role anyway, and so is it a good idea or not? I don't know. I feel like you guys are just gonna execute me anyway, so I might as well just say this now before it becomes pointless. I'm the Raven Keeper, so I've been trying to keep that on the quiet, because otherwise, as I said, there's no point me having it. I was hoping to randomly get executed, but that hasn't been the case so far. I presume that John's going to now claim to be the mayor.
John?
No, I was going to say I'm the Slayer.
Interesting.
So you know the countdown is beginning.
John, you've got an ability.
John, accuse Vanjie.
Shoot. Well, I was going to say, can you shoot?
Just so you know, the countdown has begun.
I'm going to use my ghost vote.
We'll clarify, you did not use your ghost vote.
Sorry, in case it's also as unclear, it is not me.
John,
shoot
would
Vanjie.
like you to shoot Vanjie for us.
Okay.
I do also think that it could be Vanjie. It's very, very bad if it is.
Why?
Just because he's been directing a lot of traffic, and
I've only heard him do it. So this is the first time that I've heard anyone accuse Vanjie, and this is the first time I've heard him talk. He went in, he took me into a room to accuse me.
John, I'm asking you.
All roles are on the table.
Just very quickly
So-
before you do, there were 5 votes there. That is enough for an execution, but there's still time remaining. Ghost votes were used by Lexi and Future.
The thing is, John, I would like you to shoot me if you weren't at this amount of players. Like,
Yeah, like how many players have we got? We've got.
It's
So
gonna be 4 now.
Got
After this.
pistol.
You guys,
But it's-
so I think it's very likely I'm getting executed right now. You guys have still got time once I am executed
We
to
need
not
talk
lose
this
the
through.
game.
Lexi, who are the 2 people you saw as the Undertaker, right?
Huh?
Who are the 2 people you saw as the Undertaker when you were around?
I saw it was yourself and it was Roda.
Matt, why do you say it was me?
With all the evidence, I've kind of gathered a lot of different information from everyone, and I know you've just met me.
And this is crazy.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Here's my number.
Trust me.
With the interest of-
Nominations are coming to a close.
I'd like to
so-
nominate. I'd like to
John,
nominate.
trust
I'd like to nominate Vanjie.
Sure.
I'm very confused about Hereford's accusation because it's not based on any evidence at all.
That
Like-
you don't have.
Okay,
Count uninterrupted accusation.
Sorry.
Okay. All I can say is, like, I don't think this vote's going to get through anyway, but I don't know who else it's going to be. I feel like Vanjie's chosen a role that means that they will never get executed, which again is already by itself a relatively reasonable assumption that they might be the imp, because it's an extremely common role for the imp to choose. All that he's been trying to like direct traffic around the place, I don't know, honestly. There isn't a lot of evidence going around. I've been accused on basically 0 evidence whatsoever, and we'll know that come the next round. You're shaking your head at me, sir. I know that you're wrong. I know that you're wrong, but
If it's just
still,
Parliament.
but still, you're doing
Thank you
this
for
whole
the
like.
accusation. We'll have the defense now, please.
I think this only proves that the Count is the imp. I mean, now, as soon as he knows he's about to lose the game, he accuses the Saint. He was the only one out of the alive people that knew I was a Saint. And if you want to really take it to close, I request John to shoot me. If he's really the Slayer, I request John to shoot me. You can if you want to.
The
To
countdown
prove
will
I'm
be
not
beginning in
the-
a moment.
To prove I'm not the imp.
Yeah, just rules clarification. If John shoots him, that doesn't count as an execution.
Yes, I mean, if he was.
But he can't
the-
kill me. He can only kill me if I'm the imp.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, it hits you for
Yeah,
demon.
and with
Yeah.
with this number of players in game, it would count as an execution if there were a Scarlet Woman still in play.
Oh,
'Cause-
sure. Okay, yeah.
Does that,
All right, I
makes
see what you mean.
There is
I-
no Scarlet.
Yeah, just to say,
countdown
so
has,
I was
countdown has begun.
I was the fortune teller. I'm the one that provided the evidence against you, Count. Yeah, this is clearly a Hail Mary.
Okay.
Which is like a
Wait,
reasonable
so
fair
how?
play,
Okay,
but, like-
so either you're lying, or wait, fortune teller is.
Well, so
not-
you pick 2 people, one of those people, and it tells you like
who was the other
if
person?
one of them is the imp.
Who was the other person?
The other person was Vanjie.
It's Vanjie. It's fucking Vanjie. It's fucking Vanjie. Execute me, then execute
shoot
him.
him.
Okay,
Why not
shoot.
shoot
Yeah,
him?
John,
No,
if you're the
no.
Slayer, just shoot them. But like,
Just shoot
so
me.
you
John,
know,
shoot me. Shoot me.
With
It's the
0
Count.
votes, that is not an execution. As things stand, Count will be executed. There are seconds remaining on nominations.
I think we
John,
hold.
you can shoot me if
I
you
think
want
we
to.
hold.
Okay.
To be honest with
Two.
you.
Yeah, because
1 and nominations come to a close as night comes once again upon
Ah,
us.
really should have shot him.
I
feel
realised
like-
that there aren't enough video games with notable deaths in. I don't know. Kirby comes and eats you. Count's Gadon. Right. Mute and video off, please.
I wasn't ready to be accused at that point, so I was completely thrown off. Also, the Hereford guy. Oh, I'm almost certain it's Vanjie now. Just because he felt like there's nothing worse than being having someone who feels very self-righteous like try and go after you, because they will seem very convincing because they believe that they are right. So you can't catch them in a lie because they're not lying as far as they're concerned. They're just wrong. And so it's very, very dangerous when that happens. Who was claiming to be the Slayer? Oh, John was claiming to...
And the town wakes up again. taking a blue shell straight to the bonnet while out on a midnight ride. It was enough to seal the doom of Hereford.
Really?
I hope you're happy now, Hereford.
And Peter,
I
you're
hope
muted.
you're happy. Ugh. I hope you're happy now.
Oh, I'm really
Mister,
not.
I'm completely certain as to the count is.
I wasn't definitely certain. I was just
I'm
like,
fine with that because count could still be the poisoner.
Yeah.
Again, there was zero evidence against me. It was literally just completely arbitrary.
no,
we
it definitely
did have
wasn't
evidence.
zero
We did have
evidence.
So either John is lying or Rodda is lying. For me, from my perspective, it's one of the two.
In that case,
Can we have the Slayer shot now?
may I? I just
Yeah.
to seal any of a doubt, John should shoot Rodda, and if it isn't that, we execute Angie. Let's go.
Again, I just want to go on record again and say, as the fortune teller, the two people that checked that got a positive was the Count or Vanjie.
But the point is, if John shoots Rodda, if Rodda's lying, he dies, and if he isn't lying, he's fine. And then
Yeah,
we know
but
exactly
Here's
who
the
it is.
thing.
Yeah, but we
Agree.
don't think it's Rodda. We think it's Vanjie more than we don't think it's Rodda, right? Because Vanjie was the
Okay.
other person that was potentially the from the fortune teller check.
And here's the
Or-
thing. John can still take a shot if it's the imp, and that shot won't do anything.
No, if it's the imp, it kills him.
No,
No,
if,
no, like,
if
John
if
could
John
be the imp.
is the imp, you can still take a shot if you're not the Slayer. If the,
Huh?
if you just say I'm the Slayer,
Yeah,
I'm
it
taking a
won't do
shot.
anything. Just won't do
Also,
anything.
right, here's how it is for me, right? So Lexi can't be drunk, right? And he knows me or somebody else, the Undertaker. The other person hasn't claimed to be the Undertaker. I have, which means I'm not drunk because I can't be drunk and seen by the Washwoman because I'm too nude for that, right? Which means Professor isn't the spy because we have a poisoner, which means Professor's the recluse.
Like I said.
Yeah, which means we have two thingamabobs. No,
Thingamabobs.
thingamabobs.
Do you mean
Which means-
outsiders?
Yeah, which means like Vanjie is pretty much still 50-50, but Rodda is kind of eh. Does that make sense?
I still have no idea what John is.
So,
So
wait,
it's
there's three people left alive, right?
Yeah.
So
Unless,
the thing is, if
Hereford
John-
is the drunk, right?
Right, so
Wait a minute,
Right.
hold on, Sean. Oh no, if you die at night. Sorry, yeah, fuck. I thought I misunderstood the Raven Keeper. My bad. Sorry.
no, that's why I was
Yeah.
not giving away it, because as soon as I give away what
Yeah.
it is, it renders it completely pointless, and it's happened in loads of games before where people have given it away way too early. But I wasn't expecting at all to get accused at that point, so I didn't have anything ready for it.
As a quick heads up, this is the final day. And well, yeah, basically.
We've got to work on the assumption that
It's
there's
the final
not.
day. Nominations are open. That's all I was going to say.
We've got to work on the assumption that there's not two bad guys left, otherwise we lose anyway.
Yeah, we'd
there's
already
absolutely
lost.
for sure not two bad guys left.
No.
So
The
if
thing is, like, John, if you're the Slayer, then
yeah, I'm thinking about this.
because like,
Because I'm
you
thinking about.
absolutely have to
Sorry,
eliminate
sorry,
someone.
Greyheart. You said that the shooting the saint isn't an execution.
Because it won't kill them.
So if you shoot the saint, that
Yeah. So okay. Then
It doesn't do anything.
and then because it's the last night, there's no reason for me to hold it, so I'm just gonna shoot Vanjie.
Are you shooting Vanjie?
I shoot Vanjie.
John takes a shot at Vanjie. Nothing happens.
Told you.
So that means it's either
Oh, shit, that is Rodda.
Rodda
If you
or John.
That's Rodda.
No, it can still be Vanjie. John could be poisoned.
But how? Because if the poison was still in play, we already lost the game.
does the bad guy,
Does-
the bad
Because
guys.
the poison acts first, right? And then the imp acts, right?
Wait, if the poisoner dies, do they still keep their poisoning power?
No.
No.
What I'm saying, there is a world where Hereford was the imp, killed himself,
No, wait,
Wait,
and then
the
John
poison-
gets poisoned.
Wait,
I was the monk.
tonight and
That
tomorrow
would be
day.
That'd be
Oh, yeah.
so 3D chess. I could.
Yeah, that would be kind of Giga Brain. No, it wouldn't. No, that would just be the obvious play. That's like the most obvious fucking thing that they could possibly do.
is it?
Because it's super obvious. Yeah, because if the count's the poisoner, the obvious thing to do if John's not shooting Vanjie at that moment is to just poison John. Oh wait, no, because he wouldn't get the chance.
That would mean that the poisoner and the imp was still in the game, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
the
Yeah. No. Yeah. There's no way it happens. Yeah, because the poisoner, if they were alive, they'd be dead before the night happened.
Before killing yourself.
Yeah. And if the imp kills themselves and a minion becomes the imp, do they keep their minion ability?
What?
Is that directed at me or?
Yeah.
No, they
No,
didn't.
Okay, yeah, because that'd be
Okay,
OP as fuck.
Vanjie,
Well,
what role
then
did
there's
you...
Rodder. Like,
Vanjie, what role did you say you had?
I'm the saint.
You're the saint. It's either John or Roller, surely.
but
Yeah.
like, surely it can't be John because if he says I take a shot and nothing happens, like,
No, he could just be.
I think it's Rodder. I think it's.
DM could do that.
I think it's a
what?
clear.
Wait, you could just say that and the DM
Yes.
will go along
Yes,
with
I've
it.
already said that multiple
Yeah.
times.
Oh, that just breaks the game. That's nuts.
There's a lot
I
of
think
stupid
it's
stuff in that
Saying
game.
that that's a thing that you can
No.
do.
I'm accusing Rodder. I'm
I'll
accusing
just say-
Rodder.
There is an accusation come through,
Sorry.
which I'll deal with in a moment. Just for clarity's sake, because again, new players in this one, anybody in this game could say that they are taking a shot at someone, and if that person either is the Slayer and doesn't hit the imp, or isn't the Slayer, I will respond with takes a shot and misses.
That's it. That's crazy because that is such a huge tool that could be used. That is
correct, it is.
Wait,
Legitimately why it's there.
nuts.
There is an accusation, I believe, am I right in saying it was Vanjie to Rodder?
Yeah, I'm accusing Rodder.
Why?
It's okay. So I get that claiming to be the saint is a demon. Is an imp move, right? But claiming to be the soldier is also an imp move because I'm still alive. Why? Oh, because I'm the soldier. It works out. It checks out because I can't be killed by the imp. So that's why I'm in the final 3. I think it's a very good beginner move to make. Just say, it can't be killed anyway, so it might as well claim to be the soldier.
Okay, uninterrupted defense, Rodder?
My defense is I'm not that smart. I'm actually getting a headache over the amount of accusations and bullcrappery that's going on. I'm trying to keep track of this in my mind, and I'm just getting confused as all hell. I am the soldier, and I have just been confused this whole time, pretty much.
Okay, time for discussion. Countdown will begin shortly.
I can't help shaking the feeling it's Vanjie just because of the way he's talking.
Whoever is the imp is seriously well played.
Well, yeah, like at this point, there's literally nothing we can do because it turns out the Slayer could just be bullshit. Like, so we literally have nothing to work on. It's all bollocks. Like,
We have a
fuck it.
33% chance of getting it right. So
So it's
Yeah,
it's a 50-50 between Rodder and John, I think.
And you have lost.
And Vanjie.
Congratulations.
No, because it could just still be Vanjie. Like, because again, Vanjie.
No, I
like,
think it's
would
Rodder,
rather
it's Rodder.
Take
It's
positive.
Vanjie.
Also, John could have just lied about the take a hit thing and
Which is just insane to me that that's a thing you can do, by the way, because
Okay.
like it completely just throws out the entire game's worth of knowledge that we tried to build up.
if we
there.
don't kill him,
Rodder dead, I
if we don't
think.
take this chance, we lose.
So, that is 3 votes. That is enough for an execution, but nominations are still open. There are still ghost votes in play.
Can I counter nominate someone? So,
Yeah, you can nominate anyone.
oh,
Vanjie or John.
No, I can't nominate anyone.
Trolling nice, I saw the action.
Rodder,
Vanjie.
Yeah, Rodder. I believe from the way you're talking, I believe you when you're saying what you're saying.
Yes, I am genuinely stupid and confused. Thank you.
He's very good at the misdirect. He's not that stupid.
Not.
I've known you 20 years. You're not that stupid.
Yes, I am.
That's making me more suspicious now.
I'm so torn. I'm so torn.
I feel like, to my understanding, like, including myself in the runnings, like it's kind of a coin flip, and
I flipped my coin. They just landed heads to Vanjie.
I mean, as it comes, I flip my coin on the vote. So
I don't know. Like,
I will bring nominations to a close in a moment.
is there any logic for it to be John? Like, if John just
Maybe. Who the fuck
Maybe.
knows anymore?
He's
Like,
lying about being
Yeah,
the
with the
Slayer.
fact that you could do that. Wait,
Our
has
last
John
piece
played
of
the game
knowledge, we
before?
knew we were voting for Vanjie, and now we're not voting for Vanjie because of a deflection thing which could have just
Reason.
been completely fake by John, so now it's a 50-50 between the two of them.
Whoever is the
5
imp,
seconds until nominations close.
Has John played this game before?
no.
It's
No.
Vanjie.
2,
No, it's
There we go.
Rodder. It's Rodder.
1. And the
but John's very
nominations have
intelligent.
closed. Nominations have closed.
Good luck.
I did give you a fair
No,
amount of time for that.
Robert-
Yeah, and I said several times I'd like to nominate
Yeah, no,
Vange.
he did say he wanted to nominate Vanjie.
You didn't until after I said nominations have closed.
He did say it before
Oh,
that.
we did earlier.
Check
He
that.
did, to be fair.
100%.
Kill me and check the VOD.
Enough people are saying it happened.
I don't know if you
No.
were saying like jokingly or not. That's
No, I was
No,
legitimately saying, like, I
was
flip the coin,
listening
I
quite
nominate.
carefully. I heard you say it is Vanjie. I didn't hear you say I nominate Vanjie, which is what you do have to say.
I thought that whole time he was going through his nomination spiel, and we were then discussing it. To be honest.
No, I had not read any nomination at all.
Yeah, because you have to look at the clock.
I mean,
clock hands.
I was reading through the roles, trying to make.
I'm
people
fine.
think
this is Rodder's first time playing. And
I'm
as a
fine
result,
if he wants to accuse me.
Yeah,
It's okay. It's okay.
I am going to allow it because first time playing, and it's entirely possible I missed it in the cacophony of voices. So Rodder has nominated Vanjie, and accusation, please.
The accusation is if John has not played this game before and he didn't know about the whole misdirect shooty doodly what's it, which I didn't even know about and a lot of you guys didn't know about, then I'm just going to go with Vanjie because it's a 50-50 shot. Plus I flipped my coin and it did land head, which was Vanjie's choice for me. So
As a holy man,
if it's wrong, it's this coin's fault and I will throw it.
Okay, a defense if you wish.
I mean, I've given my defense and my accusation to Rodder, and I 100% believe it's Rodder. Or John has played a fantastic first game. Like, either it's that or John has played a fantastic first game, and we just lost anyway. But I still think it's Rodder.
Okay, the countdown will begin in a moment. Time to discuss if you wish.
pretty happy that there isn't.
We have literally no concrete information.
If you kill me, by the way, I'm the saint. If you kill me, we lose the game anyway.
Yeah, but we don't know that. Like,
Yeah, you do. No, true.
we don't know anything. Literally nothing is known at this
I am
point.
voting-
There's no evidence to support anything anybody has said. The entire last hour and a half has been a complete waste of time to try and get any sort of information about anything.
I have an out-of-game sort of jokey reason as to like why I am definitely the soldier, which I will reveal at the end of this.
Okay, please do. That would be amazing. I at this point have no idea.
I thoroughly.
So
enjoyed all
if you're not the imp, I'm really sorry. You've just come off that way to me
It's definitely
really
going to
harshly.
be John now. Like,
Yeah.
With
Silent
three
assassin.
votes, guys, that ties the vote. No one is executed as things stand. There is only one. In fact, there are no. Unless John wishes to nominate himself, there are no executions that could potentially go through today. And
Not
also,
physically.
ghost votes were used by sheep.
Doesn't that just mean we lose?
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah,
Wait, so
well,
what
unless,
happened?
John, unless John like nominates someone, apparently we lose. Is that what I'm understanding?
I think, but no,
Well, then I can. Yeah, no.
because all
Okay,
the ghost votes have been used.
The nominations have closed, and the town goes to sleep.
Well, I mean, we've already lost.
Your camera's on.
Oh yeah. I mean,
So we just lose. I don't know who it is. My gut is telling me Exodus. I think it's. I don't think we've played the game well enough.
The town awakes. I say the town, but really, only evil awakens today.
I knew it.
Because Poisoner John and Imp Vanjie
okay.
are the only two left standing.
Host, we already
It's
lost the
Screwed
game.
either way.
We ended with the Raven Keeper was indeed... sorry, the Count was the Raven Keeper. Rodder was indeed the Soldier. Sheep was the Undertaker. Washerwoman was Lexi, or vice versa. Fortune Teller Future. I thought that was a fun play on names, and it was just for complete random rolls. Interesting one here, because a bit of a hunk, but their info stunk. They were drunk. They were not the monk. It was Hereford. And the recluse professor. That is your lot.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I knew it.
Ryan.
I knew it. Exodus.
Like, you
You
were acting
couldn't-
pretty suspicious from the start. Like,
You just couldn't contain your glee in the last
No,
couple of
I couldn't.
rounds. I could see it. It was like there's a little smile creeping into your face every time someone was accusing someone else. I was like, I know it. I just like there was just some malevolence about your facial expression. I was like, it's gotta be him.
yeah.
So if
to be
anyone's
honest,
curious, my hard evidence that I was the soldier and therefore had nothing to do all the night is currently on my stream. I was drawing something for Garish the entire time. Whenever we went to sleep, I started drawing a little bit
By the way,
more.
can I just say one thing? Sheep pulled me apart the first night, saying, "Look, I'm gonna roll the odds. They're good odds. What do you see? Like 1 in 7 chance. You're not the imp. I'm gonna trust you that you're not the imp. So let's swap rolls." I'm like, okay, sure, let's do it.
Yep, you gambled and lost the whole game.
Unbelievable.
Vanji pulled me into a room like the like penultimate round and was like, "We're gonna play this so clean."
Well played, guys.
So impressive.
So Count, I thought you were posturing as if you were the soldier, and that's who I was gonna pretend to be. And then I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then Roddo was like, "Oh, I'm the soldier," and I'm like, "What the fuck? Hang on, is the Count also a minion? Am I? What the fuck's going on here?"
I was-
like,
Bad guy?
I was so
Giga upset that you can just say I'm the Slayer and I'll shoot someone. Like, because
I did not know that when I pretended to be the Slayer.
Because if you couldn't shoot the shot there, if you weren't allowed to say I take a shot,
Yeah,
then we
that's
know-
why I don't know if anyone saw this on my face. I was having a real panic when Hereford was just like, take the shot now, just do it. And I was like,
and
oh,
that's exactly
fuck.
why you can do that and why the storyteller will allow it, because it would literally mean there is a role that is impossibly proven to not be.
Yeah, but that's
usable.
good, right? Like, I think the problem I had with that whole thing is that we did all that work, but we had literally no concrete information at the end of it.
So you should have done is the fact. In fact, I actually said.
How?
So
We-
Evil
we
still
knew
has
those
won every
both,
game.
right?
The biggest problem in this one came from some weird disagreement between Sheep and Lexi.
I don't
Lexi knew
understand.
Sheep was the
How did
Undertaker.
that happen?
Sheep is out there saying, "I'm the Undertaker." Lexi hasn't said, "I'm one of the two people who's the Undertaker," and he didn't come out and say yes.
But
And at that
that-
point, you could have had 2 confirmed town.
Yeah, that was fine, but we confirmed that in the end. Like after they were dead, that's fine. But like, and
Yeah,
we
that's
basically,
how we-
but, so I used my info. So I used the info to be like, okay, well, it's either Lexi or the Count, and then the Count did some really weird, suspicious stuff and didn't kill, like, and then yeah, when the imp didn't kill somebody else, like, because completely threw off the scent, it was like, all right, there's a fair argument for it to be the Count because he had the information of the saint and stuff like that. So like, so we, but
I still
but
don't
once the
understand.
Count was dead,
I still don't understand the logic behind why I was accused in the
It
first
was,
place.
it was you or Vanji, and then Vanji's argument about him not being killed on the night really won me over because that made total sense. Like the fact that he didn't get killed on the night, but it
It was
would
good
be
back.
like, oh yeah, the imp obviously wants to keep him alive because he's a saint. That makes sense. And you were the only person that was like potentially evil that could have known that information at the time to kill him. So that's why the argument won me over and why I voted you out. But after that, when it wasn't you, when we hadn't won, it had to be Vanji. But then when John was able to be like, it's not, haha, like completely got rid of any concrete information we had. So we had concrete information, but the fact that he was allowed to shoot that person just meant that they just completely threw everything out the window. And then it was just a coin flip.
It
But that
doesn't
point
really
already
throw it
won.
out the window. It only throws it out the window if he's the Slayer, which you had no confirmation of at that point. So one of the biggest problems that the town had was that they believed that the professor was the poisoner, which he absolutely wasn't.
No,
Sure. But then we
he
could have
wasn't
confirmed that he
So,
wasn't.
so Dom, it was your fault.
Yeah, that's my bad for accusing you hard of being a spy. But like, you were acting really suspicious by just coming out and saying you were the thing anyway. So it was like kind of weird.
I don't know, like, in the groups that I was taken off, we knew really early that Professor was the recluse, because we knew there was a poisoner in the game.
Yeah, I think we kind of worked it out as, in the end.
It just a
How do you know?
little bit of work with
Earlier?
Lexi.
So
to make
interesting
sure I
fact.
wasn't doing
Night 1, Future, you would have had very different information if it weren't for an interesting fact. I was about to tell you that one of, I can't remember who it was, you said Professor and someone else.
And John.
I was going to tell you that one of them was the imp, but then, because Professor as Recluse could show up as the imp. But then you got poisoned by John, so I decided to show you 0 on that one, which actually kind of helped you because you were both getting a red herring and also poisoned.
Yeah. But
So-
no, like, my point is that by the time we'd got to the point of concrete information where there were still 4 people alive, Like, just John. Like, if John, the fact that he wasn't shooting was like, okay, well, he's clearly lying at that point. But the fact that he was able to shoot just means, like,
It means
it
jack
makes
shit, actually. Like,
it makes it so easy at that point to like, because then you can just
No,
pretend
at
to
the
be
point
the
where there were
player.
2 bad guys and 2 good guys left, you already lost.
It's probably dead, but I don't know. Like that is that's the only rule I'm going to question. I don't think it would have made a difference. Yeah,
I think if you have like 4 people left and
Exactly.
you're at that point and you're like, all right, you're forcing people to use their abilities. Like if the minions have no recourse to at least like defend themselves from being made to do it or we're killing you now.
Yeah, sure, but there's risk reward surely involved. Let's compare it to werewolf.
It's just a
like,
it's just a bluffing aspect of the game. Like,
Yeah. Like, but that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah, problem.
if someone calls you on your bluff, you shouldn't be able to just play the card and.
Well, no,
hit a full
because then
house.
if it goes, we go, okay, so they missed. Interesting.
Future, if
There's
there
a,
are
there's a
aspects...
50-50 that they're faking it.
Future, if there's an aspect of the game to be mad about, this is not the one to be mad about.
Maybe, I don't know. Like,
all of the
was
stuff with the drunk and the
super
recluse and
weird.
things, it's totally up to Stan. That's dramatically more confusing than any of that kind of stuff.
I think the fact that the drunk, like
just so you know, the drunk, nothing about that is up to me.
Isn't it?
So
it's just all RNG.
So basically, they just they think they're that thing, but they will malfunction and just
I
random.
think the fact that Stan can it makes it cool because we kind of trust Stan, but the fact that the storyteller can make up the most random ass bullshit, and then it's like, oh yeah, but you're never gonna find it out anyway because hey, I'm storyteller, I'm gonna give you some information.
Sorry,
okay.
Sam, can you just go back over that again? Because this is something I haven't played multiple games. I still don't understand the whole drunk mechanic properly. Like so
the drunk, basically. So let's say that they are. So in this case, drunk monk. The monk would never successfully be able to heal. They would think they were healing, but they weren't. So for instance, on the night where I believe it was Future died, but apparently Future was protected, they absolutely weren't protected, and as a result, Hereford thought they were poisoned. Obviously, in this case, ended up being drunk. If you are one who gets information, then it essentially you will never get the correct read. Is what will happen from that. So, for instance, if you're an empath but actually you're drunk and there's evil next to you, it'll register as 0.
So what happens if you poison a drunk?
If you poison a drunk, that's the only time when I can have a say in it. So if a drunk gets poisoned, their abilities won't, like, they still can't protect. They still don't get to do that but if it's information, then I can randomly mix around what they're getting and literally get a random number.
When Sheep came out first round and was like, I'm pretty sure I'm drunk, but the next 2 rounds I was just like, yep, poison that guy.
Which is a great move because he was the Undertaker, and that's part of the reason why he found out the Professor was the spy. Actually,
And that's how I knew there was a poisoner. It took a little bit while to try and get Lexi's information, because Lexi can't know I'm the Undertaker and be drunk, because then I would have to be drunk as well, which means there has to be a poisoner.
The only thing in this game that I did in any way, well, that's not true. 2 things I did to help Evil. One was just to give John a little bit of clarity via DM, which I would have done for anyone because he wanted to know how a particular role worked, and that was in regards to the Slayer. And the other thing was, which I haven't told you, well, you can see it on the screen there, the demon bluffs, which I gave to John. So he knows that there are 2 outsiders in the game, and he also can see from his demon bluffs that Butler and Saint are available as potential bluffs. He now knows for a fact there is a drunk in the game, and if the drunk isn't revealed excellently, or in this case the recluse isn't necessarily confirmed, he has the opportunity to play as the Saint, which was kind of what I hoped he would do, and he did very well.
Who is this?
Vanjie.
Yeah.
I have a question. On the night where the first time I protected Future, and no one died, can we just choose not to kill?
So on the first night,
Future twice. The first one was fine. The second one,
the first night is the only night where Evil must kill. So you have to attack someone, but you can attack a dead body or yourself. So
wait, but the rules say each night, but not the first night. So the first night.
The first night is when I die. So that's not actually a night.
No, I meant
but then after that, they have to pick someone. Like there's no May. There's no May. So yeah, like I died. I didn't die. So the second night, nobody died.
No, because I chose Rodder.
Because he chose Rodder, who's the soldier.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I
that
have
was-
shield, yay.
Yeah. Wait, but then can a
Good while you
demon
sleep.
can a
Shield boy
demon
sleepy.
pick a dead body then?
Yes,
to-
absolutely. So if
Oh
you want
wow! I didn't.
so if you want, and I have said this a few times, if you want no one to die, essentially, for instance, Count's dead, kill Count, he's already dead, doesn't change anything about him being dead.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess it makes it harder for you to win.
That's
I
really
guess,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh,
well, I
boy.
know that my tactic going forward for Demon, just claim Slayer.
Flame Slayer.
Pow!
I,
Oh, my buddy, he's fine. Look. Nah.
So the thing is, as
If
Slayer,
we knew that was possible, and then I was like, I am a Slayer, everyone would be like, alright, okay, don't trust a word he says.
Yeah, maybe.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
The timing when he revealed it.
Yeah.
so the
It's
three,
very well played, really. By
Yeah, it's hugely
Vandy
well
and
played.
John.
Both
Like,
of you.
this is just
Yeah.
absurd. Like 5-head here, really. I'm impressed.
yeah, there are three roles that you generally see sort of being bluffed the most by the imp in terms of people who aren't willing to do things with info and try and make it a little bit more complicated. They are soldier, because you can't die at night, so hey, the imp's not killing me. Slayer, because you can do what John just did, and also Saint, because you just turn around and say, hey,
Yeah.
if you kill me, the game's over. So, yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
This has been great.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
really
that.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of fun.
I don't think we,
Awesome.
unlike some of the other games we've been in, I don't think we lost because of just not doing our abilities or anything in this game. I just think that the bad guys just played it very well.
Yeah, it was an
Yeah.
exceptional
Yeah,
bluff.
But,
really
but
well.
John, what,
I honestly think Town only made a couple of small mistakes. I think they were really, really close.
John, because when I pulled you into that room, it was great because I had never talked to John at that point, but then
They
you
told
guys,
you to.
Yeah, you guys told me to. Oh, once you're gonna pull John in the room,
lads.
oh, yeah, you know what? If I must, I'll pull John into a room, and then I'm just now we're gonna play this. So well. but also because I told John act like the Slayer, because I know how the Slayer works, so I could say, just kill me. It's fine, John. Just shoot me. It's okay. You don't need to worry.
Does the imp know who their minions are?
They do, yes, and
Yeah.
the minion know who their imp is. Also, the imp knows exactly which minions they are. So, for instance, in this case, Poisoner.
Interesting. Like, so this is. I think that this is like the only social deduction game I played that kind of favors the bad guys. Just because, because the town, like in every other game, you can always definitely rely on some information. Like in like Town of Salem or in Werewolf to an extent.
Yeah.
Like there's always definitely some concrete, and in this game there's just nothing you can rely on.
In this game, you
Right.
have to trust each other so much more, but
Yeah,
also,
yeah, yeah.
like,
You've,
it's so
really gotta
dangerous.
get deep into
So you
politics.
You have to find out what roles there are pretty early.
The one for me biggest difference between this and Town of Salem is the Undertaker is an inbuilt mechanic in Town of Salem, with only things like janitor being able to clear out, what people's roles are. You find out what people's roles are. You see that someone's died, and it goes, the sheriff is dead. Whereas here, unless you've got the Undertaker and you can definitely trust the Undertaker, like a verified Undertaker, you haven't got that. That's a big changing thing.
And that's a problem, because if you have an Undertaker, but then you have to trust the Undertaker, and so once again it creates this distrust, even though it's not logical, because you're only out of the 9 or the 9 people who are
Legacy
here.
was evil. I'm like, what's going on?
I don't know.
Yeah, like if you could have had a verified undead, well, not undead, not deaded sheep as Undertaker early, that would have been huge for you. Like saying about the evil thing, I think in the early game as you're getting used to it, I think that's true, and we've seen it in the games. I think it's our 4th, maybe our 5th game, and evil has won every time. But I play games on a daily basis on like the unofficial Discord. I've played probably 20 games in the last 2 weeks. I've seen evil win once, because people, they know the roles, and they go, right, I know this thing can do this thing, so we can prove this by this, and like the game's over by day 3, and this is the easiest version of the game.
The game is very
you have to win for
complicated.
that.
I mean, our games have always been pretty close.
And
That
it's also
last
because
one,
we keep introducing new players to it, which I love, because you get like almost this new meta where people are doing different things with it.
Well, if you guys will help me, I'll be here every Tuesday.
Yeah, same. I'll
That's
be
great.
here every Tuesday.
Will not.
Yeah, interesting. It's almost the Among Us effect, where it's just like people
Love
figure
it.
out the optimal way to win
Yeah.
the game in like a few
There's
days.
always-
even
there's always
with
a
one
meta
person dying, right?
But that was just awesome. That was so
That was
because like
so good.
there was a point where I was literally like I am either drunk or there's a poisoner.
I
Yeah,
think,
there's just
like,
so many
Right,
elements to
It
it.
was both.
Oh,
You
I
were
was
literally
right on both parts.
yeah.
But the drunk is such a problematic role as well, because not
Yeah.
only do you create distrust between everybody else creates distrusts at you, and then you create distrusts with yourself because you might be a drunk. So,
The whole drunk mechanic
Just
is
like
so
being a drunk in real life.
it's so different from everything else which I've experienced. Where like literally,
Yeah.
like, you cannot trust any information at all because there's also no, as far as I can tell, like how do you ever find out for sure like that you're a drunk unless the circumstances really kind of come together to allow that to happen.
Honestly,
I think if,
it's
like,
less
3
being
people
drunk
make an
and more being
assessment.
on mushrooms.
Hmm?
I feel like it's less like being drunk and more being on mushrooms, where it's just.
I think, John, if like 4
Yeah.
people make a certain assumption or make a certain declaration about someone, and 3 of those add up, and yours doesn't, I think you can kind of say for yourself,
Yeah.
you are the drunk.
But we
But
never,
then you-
we never got
you-
that much information about one person though.
No, true, and it's very unlikely that 4 people, unless you direct it with your group, like all 4 people who can check something, check this particular person.
This
And
particular
drunk and poisoner in the same game makes it tough as well.
in this
Yeah.
And the recluse.
in this game we didn't have a lot of information gathering people like ultimately.
No,
I
we
got
had
to
the
use
wash-
I got to use mine twice, and I mean, kind of worked.
Did you
But-
got him?
Yeah. I got to
But,
use mine once, and I found out there's a poisoner.
uh,
Fair enough.
Oh, dear. And it was a
Thank
good
you
game.
so much, Greyheart, by the way. Really
Hey.
like this.
It was
Really
a great
good.
pleasure.
Amazing.
Honestly, this is like one of the highlights of my week. At the moment.
That's
Thank you
really,
all for,
like, Stan, I'm
joining.
looking forward to this every time, so it's really,
Yeah.
really fun.
that's really
yeah,
cool to
yeah,
hear.
I'm done.
We will be doing another one Friday at 8 p.m. And then we'll be back to Tuesday and Friday next week unless things change with like either my work situation or something like that.
Can't do Fridays, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday. So
Completely fine. Everybody's always welcome. If you have friends that you want to like add in, I try to give first refusal to people who have played before. But as and when we need extra numbers, like today we could have had another 2 players and that would have been fine. Yeah, feel free to refer people. That's absolutely fine.
Oh, I've got to get
Thank you
Jake
very
on
much.
this. That'd be
Thanks for the game,
hilarious.
guys.
Yeah, good
Thanks,
game,
guys.
everyone.
You say
Good
Jake?
game.
Oh, I'd love to see Jake on this.
Jake on this.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
hobbit that swears a lot. It's amazing.
Oh dear. Also, I
I
found
don't
it
know.
really funny when I think it was Lexi said to Dom, "Like I know you in games like this. You usually like micromanage."
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what he had been doing. This is the most
Yeah.
I've seen anyone micromanaging this game before on like the first night.
I don't know. Like I sort of like trying to get a feel for it, and then you like came out with the accusation. I was like, bro. like John, like, well, we played Among Us most recently, I guess, right?
Yeah, quite a while ago though.
Yeah. Oh, we played something else as well, didn't we?
We played a bunch of werewolves at the Belong
Yeah.
weekly board game or monthly board game night that hasn't
I
happened
missed
for like a
that.
year.
Yeah,
That was good.
Big sad. But yeah, no, I've definitely snaked you a couple times. So
Oh yeah, but normally I can just sit back and then it's you like talking a lot and shouting at everybody and micromanaging everybody, which is why I come. Which is why I know where Alexi's coming from.
If you ever need someone to fill an Among Us spot, I am addicted. I think I've like 700. I know. I literally have 700 hours in Among Us. So please, I can't stop.
So whenever we play, we vote you out immediately just in case you're in the poster. Got it.
no, I think the most. This isn't like I played Werewolf once with a bunch of Magic players, and like one of them was also he was a lawyer. Like that was just his day job. And like it was Ben Stark, Alex. It was Ben Stark.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Alright,
Like I was there with Kay and Henry, and like but yeah, like playing against him, and like I like. Night 2, I was like, I think it might be you, and I started questioning about it, and he just did this huge spiel, and like he went like all out of it, like
Lawyers.
convinced not only me but fucking everybody that it wasn't him. And then I was the last one to die on like night 13 or something, and then like I just opened my eyes, he sat there grinning, and I'm like, you motherfucker. Like that is the most out of control of a social deduction game I've ever felt in my life. Like this was like a nice refresher on that as well, because yeah, we got butt fucked. It was pretty bad.
So lawyers are banned, yeah?
Lawyers
I
are
mean,
bad.
to be fair, a lot of us here are shoutcasters, so I think we get paid to talk on screen. So I think we might do a good job as well. But I'm not saying we can. I'm not saying we can compete against lawyers. Definitely not, because those guys will I mean, they can bullshit their way through anything.
Yeah, it was kind of mad. Like he. Honestly, he probably could have talked me into marrying him after that.
It's very beneficial for the both of us.
He did. It's like-
I feel like I would have done better if I was.
And
in
you're all
character.
invited next Sunday.
I feel like I'd have done better if I was in character a bit more. So much easier to talk with someone else.
I mean, you're welcome to do that, Ento. Like,
I'm thinking about it.
I would love to go as Miss Vanjie. Just go full on RP Miss Vanjie.
You want to do like
Vanjie?
RP, full RP social deduction? You want to play the Battlestar Galactica board game? Like,
I still
like,
really want to play that.
It's
very
so
good.
Like,
Yeah?
so it's because the social deduction element is there, and it's obviously a core mechanic, but like there's a whole other game going on as well. Like you got to like deal with things attacking your ship, and oh no, we've run out of food, and shit like that. And also, there's fucking cyborgs trying to kill you, which is great. And then halfway through the game, more people become cyborgs. Yeah, it's kind of mad. It's really, really, really good game though, and yeah, I definitely recommend it if you want to do one that's like RP focused as well. Like if you want to like I have to play my character and like get really serious into that thing. Best game for that.
I might have to get that. I love Battlestar Galactica.
It's on tabletop sim. Like
Yeah, it's very
Apparently
faithful.
there's
one of
I don't. Go on.
Go on, you go.
Apparently, there's a social deduction game that you can play that is, I don't know what it's called, I'm going to look it up afterwards, that you can play, basically takes over a long period of time, like months, and it plays IRL. So what you can sometimes do is you can go, if you want to kill someone, you have to physically go to that player's house, tell them, I killed you, I kill you, and then you go, and then suddenly like, oh, did you see this guy? Oh yeah. By the way, I'm dead in the game. It's like, oh, you're dead. Yeah, I'm dead. And then the game just drags on for months and months and months. You have to do your own deduction. Where were you the 21st of May? Like something like that bullshit.
Oh my god!
I'd love to play that, but like every group of friends I have, like there's usually one or two of them like literally hundreds of miles away. So I don't know if it would ever work. I could play it with my guild, but like we're scattered across Europe and Africa, so that wouldn't work either. Like,
Just get a
yes.
private jet.
Alright, I'm gonna drop out. I'm quite tired.
yeah, it'd be good.
Great to see you, Counterfeit.
Yeah, have a nice
Thank
time,
you.
guys.
Nice meeting you.
That's what you
And
guys do.
I'll be leaving as well. I need to.
Alright. Let's head out. I don't know if anyone's around, but I'll drop a raid across to Way Too Slick anyway, because why not? So thank you guys for watching. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow for TFT.
As long as it's worth fighting.